had a little bit of a rant about how the frequency of updates on this free software. Did you watch my crowdsourcing video editing help video?
No.
Yeah, so I decided to live stream doing some video editing, and I had a little bit of a whinge about the frequency of updates. And it's like, of what use and validity is this update for me?
Well, it's kind of unspecified, isn't it?
There's none.
Welcome to another Fortean Words. And should we just start off with how weird MPs are? Like, what is it with MPs and food?
Look, Ed Miliband can eat a bacon sandwich just like you and I.
Perfectly normally. Like, that pretty much sunk him, didn't it? Just imagine that, like, you're so weird that eating a sandwich can sink your political career.
You know what it reminds me of? So as you know, one of my favourite bits of entertainment is the hate bus. And Thursday, so probably from about midnight until 5 in the morning. No, it's probably 1 in the morning till 5 in the morning. They do a stream, and they have mutants eating food section. And there's this one guy goes, get this thing from, and then insert the name of the fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
And we're going to try it out in a hot minute. And then the way he eats his food, he chews with his mouth open, and he pushes, like, with his tongue, everything to, like, the back, the roof of your mouth. He does that. And every time, like, I've had the misfortune of watching him eat, because, you know that thing with peripheral vision and movement happens when you're looking. I just look, and then it's like, he reminds me of someone. Yeah, it's like when Ed Miliband was trying to eat that bacon sandwich. I think Ed Balls has eaten like something in public. I think it was like a Scotch egg or a pork pie. That was weird. David Cameron is normal eating a hot dog with knife and fork. Do you remember the time
the one that I wanted to talk about was one that I remembered. You've never heard this one, have you, Hobbit? The famous... I'll just quote it straight from the article. The famous story about Peter Manderson was the one that he once went into a northern fish and chip shop, spotted the mushy peas on display, and asked for some of that guacamole. Because he's never heard of fucking... He doesn't even know what fucking mushy peas are.
Just as a reminder for those that were born after 9/11 and Americans, Peter Mandelson was a member of the House of Lords. Is he still a member of the House of Lords? He's
David
also
Cameron famously liked pulled pork. Obviously, you remember that gag, don't you, Hobbit? His days in the Bullingdon Club. You remember that one, don't you?
Oh, right, because I was going to say that there was
my favourite David Cameron story has to be that he thinks LOL stands for lots of love.
It does, yeah.
Why do MPs try to be normal? And why are they even, like, they're that out of touch? When you're that out of touch, like, why are you running a fucking country? You don't even know what goes on within the borders.
Well, they see it as a lesser culture, don't they?
Yeah.
So two things, right? Peter Manson, practicing homosexual, member of the House of Lords. So
and
he
the
is in
Fabian
fact
Society.
Yes, so he is in fact Gaylord Mandelson. And secondly, I was at a function with David Cameron being there. He was basically grandstanding at the opening of some building, and I happened to be there because I was invited for a tour of this facility. And security, the Secret Service, who I was not paying attention to, came over and asked my friends what we were doing. We were saying, "Oh, well, we're playing Magic the Gathering." And then he says, "Oh, okay. How's that work then?" And then we explained the rules. He said, "Oh, so it's like Top Trumps then?" I said, "Yeah, basically." And then when he walked away, my friend said, "Did you see the guns they've got?" It's like, "No, I'm not looking at them." "Yeah, they've got guns." "Oh, okay." "Yeah, they're hidden underneath the suits." Well, that does make sense, seeing as they're protecting the then Prime Minister.
Don't do guns. Guns are bad. Okay.
Yeah, unless you're like Secret Service, in which case, you know what, just carry guns around in public.
Well,
because that's...
as everybody likes to point out, all of these American politicians that want guns banned are all protected by guns.
Yes, and gated communities.
Yeah,
because open borders, except for when you're in my neighbourhood.
Anyway, shall we get on with UNESCO? We did threaten to do a UNESCO episode. I've got to confess, we haven't really done any research on this. It's going to be funny.
Well, no, we kind of have.
We have.
We've kind of led up to it.
I mean, there's about 6 episodes where we've led up to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think various. Was it during Mudflood when we first started finding out that UNESCO have all these sites?
I think it might have been.
So anyway, UNESCO, what does it stand for? The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organisation, which is quite funny considering how many people we think we should have in a country. It's a specialised agency of the United Nations aimed at promoting world peace and security through international cooperation in education, arts, sciences and culture. Well, how long have they been doing this? Hold on. UNESCO was founded in 1945. So how would you rate their progress in the 80 odd, in the coming up to 80 years they've been around? How do we think? Should we give them a mark? How do you think they're doing at promoting world peace?
I'd just like to say we have been covering UNESCO in pretty much all the previous episodes where we go, oh, this is an interesting world anomaly. It happens to be a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That's a funny coincidence.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this building. Look at this gigantic tree stump. Oh, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Oh, look at this atoll with the nuclear test. Oh, that's a UNESCO Heritage Site. You know.
Oh, look at Antarctica. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site where you'll be machine gunned if you try and step foot on it.
Headquartered in Paris, France, obviously, because it might be Paris, Texas. You don't know, do you? UNESCO has 53 regional field offices and 199 national commissions that facilitate its global mandates. I wouldn't say a global. I'd say a minority mandate of.
So. How does declaring a piece of ground serving world peace?
This is anyone question. That's why I said should we mark them? They're not doing that well on the world peace front, are they?
I think it's the same. If we can sort of circle back to the neutrinos, totally aren't faking. Don't say fuck or bugger. Your neutrinos no, you may be asking, and then some sort of technical bit about this. Well, that's a good question. Moving on.
So I just love that.
Hey Tony, yeah. How does that piece of land over there give us world peace? Hey Tony.
I love the way like any other evil organisation, the head of it has alliteration in his name. His name's I think it's a he. Anyway, Audrey Azoulay. In the alliteration, Lex Luthor. Oh, it's a woman. She's a French civil servant. So Audrey Azoulay, like any good supervillain, has alliteration, doesn't she? Like Lex Luthor or I can't remember any others. So UNESCO was founded in 1945 as the successor to the League of Nations International Committee on Intellectual Cooperation. It don't quite drip. Is it because they couldn't come up with a catchy name for it?
It's just like where the acronym for SHIELD came in the Marvel.
UNESCO is just a lot better than Icky. Its constitution establishes the agency's goals, governing structure and operating framework. UNESCO's founding mission, which was shaped by the Second World War, is to advance peace, sustainable development and human rights by facilitating collaboration and dialogue among nations. Like I say, how well are they doing for that?
Yeah. Hey Tony, how does this tree stump here?
That. Riffle's got a good question.
Hey,
Who funds UNESCO?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. Anyway, moving on.
It's we're gonna come on to the conspiracy bit later, and we know who we're not allowed to tell you.
Totally debunked.
Totally, just the was it philanthropist? Just your average philanthropist. So it pursues this objective through 5 major program areas: education, natural sciences, social and human sciences, culture, and communication information. Why do they have to double up on these? Like, why can't they just? They're not very good at sorting this out, are they? Anyway, are you guys having a look as well? So if there's anything you see, you can chime in.
No. I'm not looking at anything, mate. Just to say, now, this is actually a multi-part episode. This started yesterday when we were talking about the GATE program and common purpose.
Last week.
We haven't really mentioned much about common purpose, but we couldn't talk about this stuff without the Tavistock Institute. And you can't mention the Tavistock Institute without the UN, because turns out Aldous Huxley and Julian Huxley had not just them, by the way, but they had a lot of stuff to do with both of these organisations. And
who put the UN into UNESCO?
The other bit that's Rockefeller's.
Yeah.
The other bit which I thought was interesting about this is, what's his name? So Aldous Huxley, if you read in Brave New Worlds, they got breeding vats and talking about sexualizing children. And Julian Huxley is the founder of UNICEF, the United Nations Fund for Buggering Children in the Congo or something. I think it's the children in the Congo. I don't think it's exclusively buggering children in the Congo, but that's what a lot of the UN peacekeepers were doing.
Well, we know they absolutely didn't do it under Comet Pizza.
No, yeah, definitely. There's no Comet Ping Pong in Congo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None was. Tavistock also made the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, exactly. Possibly Philip Schofield.
Is he a member of UNESCO?
All I know that he's done nothing illegal.
Yes, and the actions of his brothers have got nothing to do with him.
Yes.
You know.
So, as a focal point for world culture and science, UNESCO's activities have broadened over the years. Oh, really? Don't they call that mission creep?
Yeah, it's like when charities stop doing charity work and start doing capitalism, you know. I'm pressing X to doubt on this one. UNESCO sponsors projects that improve literacy, provide technical training in education, advance science, protect independent media. Itchy chin. What did they do to protect Alex Jones? What did they do there? Nothing.
I wish we could have Mush on this show, because he would be really good at saying this point. To be fair, Emmy, what they do, right, they do actually promote literacy across the world. They get 6-year-old girls and boys to read My First Gay Anal Adventure, starring, with my uncles, and learning about here's a book for 3-year-olds talking about how men and women can masturbate and do sexual acts to one another, which I'm not going to describe. But by the way, it is the Sacred Heart of Jesus this month. We all get to focus on how his heart...
Wait, it's the Sacred Heart of Jesus month? You mean Pride month?
It is the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Pride is the worst of the 7 deadly sins. Yeah. So we get to focus on Jesus' undying love for us this month. So, I just felt it's important to mention June is this part. You don't have to be Catholic.
Because UNESCO, what they do is they preserve regional and cultural history and promote cultural diversity.
So
how do they do both at the same time?
So, how are they promoting diversity, but also saying we're going to encourage mass migration, but also we're going to make it conspiracy theory to say that we're encouraging mass migration, and there's no such thing as the Great Replacement.
Well, you see,
they put up a sign saying this is ancient Roman architecture.
Yeah.
So when all the tourists, new Europeans arrive,
new Romans,
they can feel like they're part of ancient historical Roman thing, and then they'll have TV episodes where Julius Caesar was a black man now, and
Anne Boleyn was black.
Cleopatra is now black for some reason.
Yeah.
On Netflix, those kind of things.
I gotta say, good luck to Egypt suing Netflix.
Come on, Egypt, we believe in you.
Let's go, Egypt. Let's go, Egypt. So, who is UNESCO governed by, who you ask? It's governed by the General Conference. That just sounds like an evil organisation, doesn't it?
Is that from Star Wars?
The General
Empire,
Conference. Nobody
the General Conference will convene now.
Which is composed of member states and associate members, which meets biannually to set the agency's programmes and the budget. Oh yeah, I bet they set the budget. It also elects members of the executive board, which manages UNESCO's work, and appoints every 4 years a director general, who serves as UNESCO's chief administrator. UNESCO is a member of the United Stations. Go on then.
Have we got an example of what they're actually doing on the ground then? Because this just sounds like fucking fluff. It sounds like.
Well, I'm just like, this is like apparently what this is what they do on paper.
Yeah, but it's like saying, we do all this, we have general meetings, but what are they actually doing?
Well, this is just from the wiki at the minute.
Right.
So 21st century. Do you want me to skip to the activities then? So UNESCO implements its activities through 5 programme areas: education, natural sciences, social and human sciences, culture, communication and information. UNESCO supports research in comparative education, so it's paying people to do shark science, I should imagine. Provides expertise and fosters partnerships to strengthen national educational leadership and the capacity of countries to offer quality education for all. And I'm pretty sure that this is the sort of education that Snopes would well agree with. Yeah.
It sounds like words and platitudes and.
Well,
what is it they're doing?
Well, I assume what they're trying to do.
What educational material are they being taught?
There's only one education. Provides so UNESCO supports research in comparative education, provides expertise and fosters partnerships to strengthen national educational leadership and the capacity of countries to offer quality education for all. So what I assume what they're trying to do is there'll be one set of facts for the entire world.
Yeah, it sounds like we're standardizing across countries, right? Which is interesting because that.
What's
why
a
would that be a
coincidence?
problem? Why would that be a problem? Each country having their own different
common purpose.
Educational
Also,
standards.
They share a purpose that's in common.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yes, it's very interesting, isn't it?
So UNESCO
chairs. How Iran feels about this.
So UNESCO chairs an international network of 644 UNESCO chairs involving over 770 institutions in 126 countries. How many countries are in the world? Is it 196?
Well, it's like 130.
230, isn't it?
Well, they're like genders. They keep up making new ones every month.
Yeah, well, you've got the Eastern Europe, haven't you, which changes every couple of years.
You've got Sudan now. Sudan splits off into different fucking countries every 5 years now. It seems.
The woke agenda, in other words. Alphabet.
Oh wow! So as of 2023, as of today, United Nations recognise 193 countries.
Oh, that
wait, sorry. Recognises 193 countries as member states and 2 observer states.
Oh, so that doesn't mean that doesn't necessarily say what the total amount of countries is, does it?
The Holy Vatican City and Palestine are self-ruling territories, but not full-fledged countries. There's no universal agreement on the total number of countries.
Palestine, what's that?
And there are many examples of so-called sovereign states that are not recognised by the United Nations as countries. Wait, so is the United Nations the ultimate decider of what is or is not a country?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is the CAR a country? Well, what was that? What was the country that was it? The CAR that recognised the Dominion of Melchizedek? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, like essential. Here in my car, I'm as safe as can be. Everything's for free. When you go to the Central African Republic, it's the Central African Republic is what happens when none of the colonial powers and none of the African warlords are interested in ruling a region. That's what you end up with.
It's just your average ANCAP country, Hobbit. What are you talking about?
Libertarians unite.
Yeah, it's libertarian paradise. What are you talking about, Hobbit?
Who's going to build the roads, though?
Yeah. Well, they haven't quite got round to that.
What roads?
Who needs to build the roads when you've got Ancapistan?
What is an observer state? Can we find out what an observer state is?
Observer state. I'll have a look. Keep going. I'll look at this. What is?
So in general, an observer status is a privilege granted by some organisations to non-members to give them an ability to participate in the organisation's activities. So basically, extrapolating that, I assume like they're part of the club, but they're not been paying their dues. I think.
I see.
What else does the UNESCO do? Environmental Conservation Organisation. Ooh, a convention against discrimination in education adopted in 1960. Organisation of the International Conference on Adult Education, CONFINT, in an interval of 12 years. Publication of the Education for All Global Monitoring Report, which the link is dead for in Wikipedia.
Why is Congo listed twice as a country? There's Congo Republic of the, Congo Democratic Republic of the. You know when you're dealing with... I can't wait until we get renamed the Democratic Monarchy of United Kingdom.
Doesn't democratic generally mean not democratic at all?
The Democratic People's Republic.
Name a country with democratic in its name that isn't run by a dictator.
I think it would be like one of those things like when Twitter starts to say this is state-funded media, and then one of them complains saying, "Oh, we only get this many." It's like, so NPR is 41% state-funded media. They just need to do a thing now saying like, "This is a democratic republic country."
Yeah. See, we are democratic. Look, it's in the name.
Yeah.
So
we believe in freedom of speech. Look at this law that says we respect your freedom of speech so long as you don't say anything we disagree with.
So the publication of the 4 Pillars of Learning seminal document. UNESCO ASP.NET, an international network of 8,000 schools in 170 countries. That doesn't sound like a... what's that?
8,000 schools in 170.
Yeah. UNESCO does not accredit institutions of higher learning, but if it could, it would. UNESCO also issues public statements to educate the public.
I bet it does.
Yeah. So it gave out the Seville Statement on Violence, which is a statement adopted by UNESCO in 1989 to refute the notion that humans are biologically predisposed to organised violence. So you thought they were just a bit like the National Trust, didn't you? until you get into it. Designating projects and places of cultural and scientific significance, such as the Global Geoparks Network, biosphere reserves through the Programme on Man and the Biosphere. That really doesn't sound creepy at all, does it?
2001. Hello.
Whenever you say UNESCO, my mind keeps wandering away to Deus Ex. That's UNATCO. That comes later.
That comes later. Adam Jensen, is that you?
No, it's JC Denton. Fuck
JC
Adam
Denton.
Jensen. Johnny come lately. As Tactical Joy wisely puts out, you don't need roads when you haven't invented the wheel. The Africans are beyond such trivial concerns.
Yeah. We don't need roads where we're going. The City of Literature. So they also do the City of Literature, even though they only mentioned 2 years of it. 2007, the first city to be given this title was Edinburgh. The site of Scotland's first circulating library. That's literally a library.
That even mean?
That's literally a library. A circulating library lent books to subscribers was first and foremost a business venture. Oh, okay. So basically, it was a library, but they used to charge you for it.
So it's worse than a library.
Netflix of books, is that?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if any of the audience remember this, but
Hey,
it's Blockbuster. Yeah. It's olden times Blockbuster. Blockbuster was just big. They couldn't say Blockbuster just robbed it from circulating libraries. So in 2008, Iowa City, Iowa, obviously, became City of Literature. So, Endangered Languages and Linguistic Diversity Projects. UNESCO Atlas of the World's Languages in Danger. So that's an online publication that we might have a look at later. Masterpieces of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. That just kind of I've been listening to a few podcasts today. Have you heard that fucking god awful song from the new Little Mermaid?
No.
The one by Aquafina. It's
no.
Oh fucking hell! It's horrible. It is horrible.
Look, you are quite happy watching things like a man with his intestines on the outside and they're getting rid of some parasite, or listening to something.
Fucking parasites. It's the world's supply of fucking parasites. Did you see?
Yeah, or like the time when 80 years ago they were weaponizing the reference tone at 440 hertz, and now like their weaponization's come on 80 years now. Here's something which, when you listen to it, will give you colorectal cancer, even though you're listening to it with your ears. I'm just not going to listen to something which is going to give me bowel polyps. Thank you very much. Look, I'm sorry, but I've got better things to do in my life than listen to science like, this was literally crafted by demons to cause your blood cells to rupture. What do you mean you don't want to listen to it, bigot?
So they also do. Oh, this is an interesting. Oh no, I'll get to that in a sec. Memory of the World Instant International Register. That safe mountain.
Okay.
Oh, so the UNESCO's Memory of the World program is an international initiative launched to safeguard the documentary heritage of humanity against collective amnesia, neglect, decay over time, and climatic conditions, as well as deliberate destruction. So basically, we'll look after it for you, so you don't have to remember it.
Yeah.
They also want to do water resources management through the International Hydrological Program.
You don't need to control those waterways. We'll control those waterways.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Just like George W. Bush by that lake, Yeah.
It's bad to flush your toilets. You shouldn't be drinking 1.5 litres of water a day.
Yeah.
Unless you pay.
Obviously, World Heritage Sites, which I thought was the entirety of UNESCO.
No. You see these world memory thing. That's going to come in handy when the Great Reset happens, isn't it? Like, everyone's going to forget. And then, they'll just come and tell us, oh, this is what happened. This was the world. Everything was all gravy.
We know, because we've got it all. You don't need to see it.
Yeah, exactly. Romans were black. And
we'll just look after all of this heritage for you guys.
Romans were black, and, the Mongolians
But it's all right, guys, because they're putting it online. Because UNESCO run the World Digital Library. You don't need those real books. You've got the digital library done by UNESCO.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm a bit curious about, this was black and that was black, right? Julius Caesar was black, right? But wasn't he conqueror all of Gaul? And as we know, the Gauls are black.
Yes.
And Cleopatra, she was black, but the Egyptians practiced slavery. And the Egyptians were black.
But
is it a bit like Ghislaine Maxwell, where they committed slavery to nobody?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
The slavery was just, in fact,
it was a metaphor. It was just a metaphor, Hobbit. It was for impoverished, lower class, working class
it's
people.
evil white colonizer lies, and also the blacks invented all the technology, but the white devil stole it all, and that's how we're able to colonize them.
Oh, you're going to love this bit. Also, UNESCO want to encourage the free flow of ideas, images, and words. How do they want to do this? Well, they want to promote freedom of expression, including freedom of the press, freedom of information legislation through the Division for Freedom of Expression and Media Development, including the International Programme for the Development of Communication.
That is one word salad that means absolutely fucking nothing, doesn't it?
So, in other words, the opposite of this
is
what they want.
Was it freedom is slavery, isn't it, or something?
Ignorance is strength.
Yeah. Anyway, they want to promote the safety of journalists and combating impunity for those who attack them through coordination of the UN Plan of Action. I assume these are accredited and approved journalists. Through the coordination of the UN Plan of Action on the safety of journalists and the issue of impunity. Well, shouldn't Alex Jones have gone to the UN? The UN would have helped Alex Jones out, wouldn't they?
Yeah, wouldn't it help Edward Snowden out and everyone else? These journalists. What about what's his name?
They were looking for help in all the wrong places, weren't they?
WikiLeaks founder. What's his name again? I forgot it.
Julian Assange.
That's it. Yeah, Julian Assange. Sorry, I wouldn't have remembered that. UNESCO would have, right?
UNESCO want to help him out. UNESCO was straight there as soon as they protected his freedom of expression. Or what about the Project Veritas guy when he got stitched up by people in his own organisation? James O'Keefe.
Huh?
Yeah.
Came, on white horse then, didn't they? Yeah, helped them out.
They also want to promote universal access to and preservation of information and open solutions for sustainable development through the Knowledge Societies Division. This all sounds like stuff out of dystopian science fiction, doesn't it? Including the Memory of the World programme.
1984?
Yeah.
Is that you?
1984, your takes are here. Hobbit, wouldn't you just love to be part of the Memory of the World programme or the Information for All programme?
But definitely not the Memory Hole programme.
Collective memory programme.
We'll be the Memory of the World programme for you.
Yes.
We will be the Memory of the World you need.
Funny
exactly.
enough,
the way we want it to be. The memory of the world as we want it to be. Let's
the Philip K. Dick novel, which Total Recall is based, is called
We'll Remember It For You Wholesale.
Yeah. Which is what the UNESCO are going to do for us, I see.
They also want to promote pluralism, gender equality and cultural diversity in the media. Well, what's more important? Who says the news or the fact that it's correct? Which one's more important? They also want to promote internet universality and its principles, that the internet should be 1, human rights based, 2, open, 3, accessible to all, and 4, nurtured by multi-stakeholder participation, as summarised by the acronym ROAM.
And in order to do this, we'll need a digital ID. Oh, look, you've used that word, which I've been told not to use on this show. Again, your digital ID's been revoked. Yeah. You have to sit on the naughty step for 3 months and can't even look at pornography.
You need to sit on the naughty step for the rest of your life. Anyway, they want to generate knowledge.
We're going straight to carousel.
They want to generate knowledge. Yes. They don't want to disseminate knowledge. They want to generate knowledge. Just like the fucking language. It's like, oh, look, you're a conspiracy theorist. What are you talking? You're such a conspiracy theorist. It's like, we want to generate knowledge. Like,
oh, you.
That's not suspect at all, is it?
Generate knowledge.
We want to generate knowledge through publications such as World Trends in Freedom of Expression. It's back to that like democracy and the dictatorship thing, isn't it? World Trends in Freedom of Expression.
So this words that mean nothing. It's fucking
media development.
Just meaningless words farted out of their mouth holes.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know what they really mean, don't you? That's the thing. The UNESCO series on internet freedom.
We gotta look at that.
Yeah.
We have to look at that. Internet freedom.
And the media development indicators, as well as other indicator-based studies. God. They're also promoting events such as International Decade for the Promotion of a Culture of Peace and Non-Violence for the Children of the World. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
no. We're not having a year, Hemmy. We're having a decade.
Actually, they only had 9 years because it was 2001 to 2010. So they only had 9 of those 10 years. So, do you if you run an organisation and you think that you have to tell people that not batter it, that they shouldn't be battering kids, like, you should look at yourself, not the rest of the world. It's hey, you. Not me. Stop abusing those children. It's definitely not me. I'm an elite. We wouldn't do such a thing.
The Philip Schofield UNESCO fund for not noncing children anymore.
Oh dear. World Press Freedom Day, which is the 3rd of May each year, to promote freedom of expression and freedom of the press as a basic human right. So you should have freedom of expression and the free habit as a basic human right.
Yeah. So does my basic human right, freedom of expression, mean I can say that word, which I'm not allowed to say on YouTube anymore?
Or the many words that you can't say on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, not just one.
What about the many words that you can't say anymore
See,
on YouTube?
You tell me...
Or in video games or anywhere else, Fucking words. Oh, yeah. You don't. You remember the what is it? The Battlefield game. Remember when he couldn't put in white person anymore? He couldn't put in white people into Battlefield and the text chat thing. It would
that's just freedom of expression.
Yeah, mate. That's
a basic human right.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things. Yeah, that's.
It's like again, freedom of expression. What about Alex Jones's freedom of expression? What about Julian Assange's freedom of expression?
Well, I suppose that's why they're unpersoned, because UNESCO wouldn't categorise them as people.
Basic human right, Julian Assange has to disseminate facts to people.
You only get human rights if you're in the club.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. If you're not in the club, you don't get human rights.
What else is there? So, International Literacy Day, International Year for the Culture of Peace. Like, what does the fucking culture of peace mean?
Sounds like hey, just give us money for...
Talk about a circular definition. You look at the definition, it says, was designated by the United Nations as the year 2000 with the aim of celebrating and encouraging a culture of peace. Oh, dear.
How? It comes how?
How about this one then? Health education for behaviour change program. Fucking hell. Program
change.
In part.
Why does the behaviour need to be changed?
Well, it's...
Why can't you just accept that people's behaviour a certain way? To quote Simon Phoenix from Demolition Man, because that's the world we're headed into, you can't take away people's right to be arseholes.
So they did this in partnership with the Ministry of Education of Kenya, which was financially supported by the government of Azerbaijan to promote Come to Kenya, lions and tigers. Azerbaijan to promote health education among 10 to 19. Well, I'm pretty sure we can assume we know what health education amongst 10 to 19
well, hold
year olds
on.
is.
So wait, hold on. So what stake has Azerbaijan got in Kenya's youth?
Who knows? Does Azerbaijan even have any spare money to be given to Kenya?
Is Azerbaijan the one with Astana and the World Temple to Peace? The place which you're forbidden from visiting, and it's got all these
hold
amazing.
On. That sounds like an age for human trafficking. I wonder if there's a link there.
It's really weird. It's got Astana, and Astana's like one of these places you can't visit. I'm trying to oh, actually, you can visit. It's like when I say you can't visit Antarctica, and someone says,
it's like when you can get a direct flight from Perth.
Hey, you're free to visit there. Just whether you'll get shot as soon as you get off your boat. There's another question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or if your boat gets sunk on the way there. So Azerbaijan, officially the Republic of Azerbaijan, is a transcontinental country.
Republic.
Yeah, is a transcontinental country located at the boundary of Eastern Europe and Western Asia.
Transcontinental, does that mean it identifies as an archipelago then?
Yeah. It's part of the South Caucasus region and is bounded to the Caspian Sea to the east, Russia to the north, and Georgia to the north. So it's a bit of leftover territory.
Yeah.
Is it basically the CAR of Central Asia?
Well, it's kind
the
of like
Central Asian Republic.
It's like the squeak on a pig. It's the only bit you don't eat. I think that's what it is.
I got that reference.
In Brazil, partnership with what's that? That's boring. Literature, culture of peace, Azerbaijan. So they're also founding and funding projects such as Migrations Museums Initiative, promoting the establishment of museums for cultural dialogue with migrant populations. So you got the UNESCO. No idea. Just because. The UNESCO.
Here's the museum. Do you want to go to the Migrant Museum? What's it about? Well, it's when a load of people moved here, I guess.
Yeah. Who didn't, because they were always here. The UNESCO CPs, which is the European Centre for Higher Education. European Centre? No. Centre. No.
Wait, no, those migrant museums are basically, you just go to the Migrant Museum and just learn about how great all these migrants are. Coming here, being your doctors and engineers, and absolutely, we need one of those. In fact, we need one in every city.
So anyway, the European Centre for Higher Education was established in 1972 in Bucharest, Romania. Wasn't that like a dictatorship at the time? I'm not really big on Romanian. We have a.
Why don't you Bucharest in Bucharest?
Bucharest. So, as a decentralised office to promote international cooperation in higher education in Europe, as well as Canada, USA, and Israel. You know, Romania, the gateway to Canada, USA, and Israel. Obviously, just like what? Why? Just why? None of this stuff doesn't make sense.
There's this moment.
I mean, was Romania even in Europe in 1972? I don't think it was even part of Europe in 1972. Oh, I know what we do. We need to speak to Canadians, Yanks, and people from Israel. Where should we put the office? Oh, we'll just bang it in Romania.
Is it one of those things like, we got to throw the Romanians a bone?
Yeah, they've got to get on the gravy train. You might like this one, Hobbit. They do the Free Software Directory. Since 1998, UNESCO and the Free Software Foundation have jointly funded this project, cataloguing free software.
Yes, which I'm not allowed to talk about free software and those that are maintaining it.
Oh, do you know? It was founded by Richard Stallman. Do you know who Richard Stallman is?
Yes, I know Richard fucking
go
Stallman.
on then. Go on then, give us the TLDR on Richard Stallman then, because I don't know.
Imagine an older, competent version of Chris Chan, who's like, actually, Linux is not free, and it should be called GNU/Linux. He's literally doing the Sonnytube bit in Linux. Like, he's gone, I like your, I'm just going to incorporate Linux into my Quickville and just recompile it as GNU Linux now. He just goes around with like a penguin GNU, the little red imp thing, a medallion, walking around, and people just talk about how he's got awful BO, and he's looking for a Windows-free computer to install. No, actually, I'm not even joking about that bit, right? There's this custom laptop he's got, which is not even x86, because he's like, no, I need it to be like completely open source, completely freeware. The hardware can't be x86 because Intel uses proprietary stuff.
Are you sure you're not getting him mixed up with Brutus?
So Brutus wishes he was half of the grand wizard KKK, Chris Chan, Richard Stallman. Richard Stallman is. So anyway, yeah, his laptop got nicked in an airport once, and it was like, I don't even know what the hacker could do with it. It's not as if you could go on Facebook with it, or probably MySpace at the time. But yeah, Richard Stallman could go fuck himself, or he could. Him and Chris Chan need to go to the same halfway home together. That's all I'll say on that.
Is that all?
Also, I think he's a dick, and GNU sucks ass. And I wish he would just do sudo/rm** himself.
Oh, you're gonna love some of this stuff later on, Hobbit. They also fund Fresh, which is focusing resources on effective school health. Yay!
Well, I thought that was the thing where they send you like food in the post and you cook
Fresh.
That's Eat Fresh. Hello Fresh. Hello Fresh. Is it?
Hello, Eat Fresh. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't
one of
fucking
them.
know.
Oh, how about OANA, which is the Organisation of Asia Pacific News Agencies.
Oh, speaking of which,
they've also got our enemy on here, Hobbit, the International Council of Science.
Headed by Professor Brian Cox. I would just like the people that listen to the show where they care about this stuff. I've perpetrated the downfall of the West. A few weeks ago, I delivered a pallet full of Filipino World, the UK's #1 Filipino newspaper. So everyone got that week's edition of Filipino World thanks to my efforts of driving a lorry. So,
oh my God, have you
boxed?
Open the Wikipedia and have a look at UNESCO, the thumbnail associated with that UNESCO Goodwill Ambassadors, because those two don't look even human. They look like they might have been made by ChatGPT.
Is this still on Wikipedia? Or is
yeah,
Goodwill. Oh, UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador. Yeah, because isn't UNESCO.
You look at them two. Look at them two. Look, they look like they're created by AI.
Where?
ChatGPT made them. Just hover over it, and the thumbnail pops up.
I'm looking at it. You know, in Deus Ex, they had this thing called. They're talking about how JC Dent and the others like that, they came from these clone vats. I suspect in the deep underground military bases, they are just cloning the WEF young leaders of tomorrow.
I don't know, but I'll put this image up because everybody should see this image.
Yeah.
They literally look. That's like the worst. ChatGPT, give me 2 average people from the UN.
Oh my God! What? What are they holding? The foundation of Zari something? Khalifa, is it?
Oh, don't. Let's have a look.
Professor, who's someone? Oh, it's Professor. Is it Professor? Zoom in.
Tactical Droid. I did do a Let's Play of Deus Ex, but I never got around to completing it because I got lost in Area 51.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's just him. Is it? Yeah, that's him being designated Goodwill Ambassador.
Oh, okay.
Is what that is.
Hello,
Yay.
my name is Ursula van der Leyen. I am a real human being, and I say cancel all the heating supplies for Europe in 2023.
Just in case you were worried, they are going to save our curries, because ASOMPS, which is the Asian Symposium on Medicinal Plants and Spices, a series of scientific conferences held in Asia. So don't worry, Tiger Balm will be around forever.
Well, ginger's got to be recognised as a medicinal plant. I mean, it's good for you.
UNESCO World Heritage Site coming soon. Fucking curry house. Yeah.
UNESCO recognised ginger. You just have a UNESCO badge on any bit of ginger, and it will cost like £50 for a little knob.
And there's
of
also Welcome to the World of Tomorrow with Botany 2000. Let's all meet up in the year 2000.
Won't it be strange when we're all fully grown
in a vat?
I'm going to ruin my career by beating up Michael Jackson.
Is this the Fall Out Boy song, like year 3000?
No, it's Jarvis Cocker.
Yeah, Pope.
It's Mr.
Disco
I'm going to run
up
up Michael Jackson in the music show and try and assault him whilst he's being lifted up on the platform.
To be fair, he didn't try and assault him. He bent over and smacked his ass. Smacked his own ass, didn't he?
Oh, okay.
Are you getting confused with Chumbawamba, who threw a bucket of ice water over Two Jags Prescott?
No. So there's this Michael Jackson, and he's being lifted up on the platform. It's doing the Earth song.
Yeah.
And Jarvis Cocker's in the audience.
Jarvis Cocker just went up on stage. He bent over, but put his ass to the crowd, and then smacked his own ass. That's what he did.
I thought he tried to run up to Michael Jackson, and then he stumbled because he was drunk or something.
Oh no! But then Two Jags had the ice water thrown over him by Chumbawamba.
I like it when someone threw an egg at him and he did a proper left hook. That's why I got respect for Two Jags, because it's like he's not just you could tell he was a proper old school lefty tourist, lefty Labour, because it's like that guy was working down to Pit. Yeah. Well, actually, he wasn't working down to Pit. He was working in cruise ship.
He probably pretended he worked down to Pit, because he was probably a union rep, weren't he? Which spent all of his time above ground doing fuck all. So there was Botany 2000, which is a program supporting taxonomy and biological and cultural diversity of medicinal and ornamental plants, and their protection against environmental pollution. Dun dun dun. There's a lot of plant stuff, isn't there? Us plebs have to take the drugs, but UNESCO seems to be looking into looking at kind of like homeopathic almost medicine, aren't they?
Oh, okay, here we go. Jarvis Cocker, 1996 Brit Awards, Michael Jackson. Yeah. And so what's he doing? Oh, this is a news report. No, I just want the actual thing. Skip to highlight. And Jarvis Cocker's on the stage, and he gets into the platform. No, is that Michael Jackson on there? No. Where is Jarvis Cocker? So that's Michael Jackson. He's on the platform, and he's doing his thing. Where's Jarvis Cocker? Jarvis Cocker's on the stage. He's standing there. He's looking up at Michael Jackson in the thing. So he didn't get there in time to clock him one.
Yeah.
Oh, and he right. So he doesn't pull his trousers down. He just sort of puts his hands on his arse and waves towards the audience.
Yeah.
That's good. Actually, that's less what than I thought it was. I'll just put the thing in there. The highlighted moment is you can go and watch it now, but I suggest you don't.
Yeah, stop that, Hobbit. Do you remember I had to tell you Alf about that before? Like we just come in the chat and go, "Hey, everybody, go and look at these other channels. They're more interesting than what we're doing."
4 minutes and 40 seconds. I don't think I said that, but yeah, I did say. I did say, "Hey guys, you
go watch this video now.
Go watch this video. We'll wait. You come back and we'll talk about it." Yeah.
So also after Botany 2000, there was the UNESCO collection of representative works, translating the works of world literature both to and from multiple languages, from 1948 to 2005. So they've stopped doing that now. So you won't get 50 Shades of Grey in the original Japanese.
Oh, that's terrible.
There's also Go UNESCO, an umbrella of initiatives to make heritage fun, supported by new UNESCO New Delhi office.
Hello, welcome to UNESCO New Delhi office. How may be helping you, please? First, you'll need to buy some Apple gift cards. Do not redeem, sir.
You've also got UNESCO Chick Burp. Honestly, that's what it looks like.
Chick Burp?
Yeah, you've got the UNESCO Chick Group, which is in China, and the Biosphere Rural Urbanization Program, which is like BRUP, not burp.
Brup, brup.
BRUP, BRUP.
Brup.
Oh god. There's the UNESCO Transparency Portal. So the UNESCO Transparency Portal, which, you know, it's all above board because look, we've used the word transparency in it, has been designed to enable.
We've investigated ourselves and found that we are transparent.
We're great.
Yep.
We're fantastic.
BBC have verified themselves and found that they're up to.
Hey, look. Yeah. Hey, look. On BBC. Look, I've proved this is right because I found a BBC article. Look.
Yep. And if you don't like it, then you're with Al Qaeda. Oh no, we're not saying that anymore. If you don't like it, then
Daesh. Do you remember so-called Daesh? That was so cringe. It was unreal.
So-called Daesh.
The artist.
Do you not remember that?
The artist formerly known as Al Qaeda.
No, ISIS, isn't it? So-called Daesh.
No, we don't. It's not ISIS anymore. It's the Islamic State, isn't it? Or is
no.
That changed now?
Oh fuck! What was it? Barack Obama used to call it something weird as well, didn't he?
He called it
ISIL.
My boyfriends.
He called it ISIL. He used to call it ISIL, didn't he?
It was ISIL as well, wasn't there?
Yeah. ISIL, so-called ISIS.
ISIL.
The band formerly known as ISIS.
The artist formerly known as Al Qaeda.
So the UNESCO Transparency Portal, which is absolutely transparent, which gives the public access to information regarding the organisation's activities, such as its aggregate.
Okay, do you?
Yeah, its aggregate budget for a biennium. So they've just made up periods, so you don't even know what they're talking about. They've just made up periods of time now.
In this biennium, what is a biennium?
What the fuck is a biennium?
Millennia?
Good question. Moving on.
200 years? Is
what
that,
is
a
biennium? Right? I'd assume that it's half a century, isn't it?
Wait, a millennium?
Half a millennium.
Yeah, a biennium. I would thought that would be 2, right? So it's every 200 years.
It's either 2 or half, because bi means a period of 2 within something, or it means 2 of. I'm never quite sure which. Right, let's see what a biennium is.
Biennium.
Oh, it's a period of 2 years.
Oh.
So it's not like the Robbie Williams song, Biennium.
Biennium.
You would have thought bi and ennium would be like...
Millennium. Yeah.
Millennium, right?
So it's biennium.
Okay.
So... But why invent these words? I don't know. As well as links to relevant programmatic and financial documents. Fucking hell! Whoever $5 words. These 2 distinct sets of information are published on the IATI registry, which is, let's have a look, the International Aid Transparency Initiative. Respectively based on IATI Activity Standard and the IATI Organisation Standard.
Yes.
So there have been proposals to establish... UNESCO haven't got enough lists, so they want to establish 2 more. So the first proposed list will focus on movable culture.
Is this like... Right, so, okay, now... Your work, right, without doxing what you do, you have to go places and do things with your hands, and then you've got to, like, make machines work, and then when you get round to it, you've got paperwork to do.
Yeah.
So these people don't have anything but paperwork to do, and it's like, how do I justify my position? I know, I'll make another list.
We'll look after more things.
Literally, it's like take paper out of tray, put paper in new tray. There, job complete.
Oh, I heard say the other day, which just
Hey, look,
thought,
we're pretending we're looking after all these sites. Why don't we just pretend we're going to look after more stuff, like artifacts, paintings, and biofacts? What the fuck is a biofact?
Is that like a play yogurt with perfidious cultures in it?
I don't know.
Danon.
Oh, actually, speaking of which, I had some kefir today, but it was like proper stuff and not just like baby's first kefir, so it was unsweetened. And literally, when I poured it out, it was just like, wow, that's like gone off milk. And then I drank it, I was like, wow, that tastes like gone off milk.
Right, a biofact. I'm pretty sure you can probably reword this into something else. In archaeology,
feedback.
In archaeology, a biofact or an ecofact is any organic material, including flora or fauna material, found at an archaeological site that has not been technologically altered by humans, yet still has a cultural relevance. So if they find a flower, but it hasn't got
biofacts down to 0.
So if they find a plant, but it hasn't got like an exoskeleton on it that's got big shooty guns, then I think that's what a biofact is.
Wait.
So it's like an artifact, but not really.
It's like an artifact, but it's a plant. I think that's probably the easiest.
What's the difference between a biofact and an artichoke then?
Yeah, but it has to not been touched by like humans or something.
Not
right?
technologically altered.
What does that even mean?
But if you take a photograph of it with a digital camera, now it has been digitally altered.
I'm going down to the archaeology jig to dig out this plant that's been technologically altered today. You know, fucking. Yes, this is supposedly 100,000 years old. Did you know that? Yes, it's been technically altered.
Tactical Droid said, "Foundations of what is this? What are academic agents' new courses they're presenting?"
Oh, this is a load of bollocks, isn't it?
It is. It's the biggest scam in history, I think.
What a pile of wank! And how come we got to pay money to this bullshit? How do
they get money? This is the real question. Is how?
By the way, Susan Wojcicki would like me to remind you that the Great Replacement theory is a conspiracy theory, and the UN totally haven't made a law which all member states are now signatories of, saying that you must have.
And that's why UNESCO aren't insisting that you have migration museums in every country.
Yeah.
You know how they make the money? They you see all these the Kenyan youth who suddenly get plane tickets to Azerbaijan.
They just go. That's a nice. That's a nice sculpture of David you got there. Be shame if something happened to it.
And they disappear, never seen from again. You know, that's how they make their money.
It'd be a shame. It'd be a shame if the Smithsonian come and took it, wouldn't it?
It's the I was going to say child trafficking can't be that profitable, can it?
Okay.
So UNESCO
disappeared.
This sounds something like a politician would say after being caught banging their secretary. UNESCO has official relations with 32 international non-governmental organisations. Most of these, this is where it sounds like an MP caught banging his missus. Most of these are what UNESCO calls operational, and a select few are formal. I never had sex with that woman.
Yes, I knew him before the age of consent, and we just had production meetings about him coming on the set of the show. That's it, and that's not alleged anymore because we're allowed to say that, aren't we?
No, it's still alleged. It's always alleged.
Oh, okay, allegedly.
The highest form, it's conspiracy theory. The highest form of affiliation to UNESCO is formal associate. Ooh.
Sounds ominous.
So what are these? I'm not reading these.
Whose pigs are these? Whose pigs are these?
The
they
International
are John Potts.
Police
What the fuck is the International
Police Association?
The International Association of Never Mind, Look Elsewhere.
The International Police Association is a non-governmental organisation for members of the police force.
Yeah, totally
active,
non-governmental.
Whether active
Wink,
duty or
wink.
retired.
The International Association of Murdering Jean-Charles de
Basically,
Menezes.
it's like International Council or International Federation of X thing.
It's International Rescue, except they murder you.
Oh look! UNESCO have the World Association of Newspapers.
Yes. All that's fit to publish because they're really interested in free speech.
I was about to get excited then because I thought it was Union of International Assassins, but it's not. It's the Union of International Associations.
Well, they probably don't call themselves assassins. They'll probably use like some sort of term like mechanic.
Yeah.
So
the International Council on Archives. I mean, it really does sound like they're trying to like have one set of facts, aren't they? There's also the World Federation of UNESCO Club Centres and Associations. Isn't that just UNESCO? What the fuck? Oh,
I too can make up fancy bullshit terms to sound more important than what I am.
Just here you go, mate.
Yes, we do stuff here. Yeah, we do stuff here. Yeah,
we do stuff. We don't just take money for fuck all. You know, we do stuff.
Yeah, we're making your money go far. It's like, well, no one's questioning that. It's just like, what are you doing with our money?
Yeah. It's going far. It's going all the way to Romania when they're supposed to be talking to people in America.
It's going to just name Maxwell's procurement lists for the children she trafficked to nobody.
Kenyan children to Azerbaijan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I know. I can't say she didn't traffic children to anybody. I can't say she trafficked them to anybody, can I?
She was convinced of trafficking children to no one.
Well, you'll be happy to know that 14th of January is World Logic Day. I don't know why UNESCO would have World Logic Day.
The World Logic of what? The World Women's Logic Day, because I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this.
Oh dear. World Logic Day is an international day proclaimed by UNESCO in association with the International Council for Philosophy and Human Sciences. For fuck's sake, what do these people do? What do they do on a daily day? On the daily?
Pick up paper, move to new tray.
Yeah.
My job is done. Cushy job.
Oh dear. International Mother Language Day. I'm just picking out some of the...
Mother language.
International Francophone Day.
Telephone Day.
Francophone is French speakers.
World Water Day. World Water Day, just in case you forget about water.
Don't forget to drink.
Just in case
drink the water
did you forget about water? Just remind yourself on 22nd of March. International Jazz Day.
Oh my god! You know what? I can tell you. Right? Okay. Stop. Right. What's happening here is right. So you got like some bloke and his housewife is in this committee, and she doesn't have to do anything, and they're like, "Oh, hubby, look what I did at work today. I've made International Jazz Day. Oh, that's very good, dear. What's for dinner? Oh, but my work's important. I work for you then. Yes, that's lovely, dear. Anyway, what we're having for dinner."
How about this is Brutus's worst nightmare, World Book and Copyright Day.
Evil copyright.
Oh fuck, we've missed the International Day of Light, which was the 16th of May.
Oh no. Oh, how could we have missed that?
Oh, we look at 5th of June coming up, World Environment Day.
Oh, thank God.
8th of June is World Oceans Day, in case you forget about oceans.
When's World Anal Fisting Monkeypox Day?
You look into... How about the 7th of July,
which
every
is 100 years,
which is Kiswahili language Day, like a language that no one's ever heard of.
A language that totally wasn't just made up by anthropologists. It's a real language, guys, honest.
26th of July, if we're on, we're going to commemorate the International Day for the Conservation of the Mangrove Ecosystem.
literally just the Make Work Initiative. It is upper class welfare.
What about the 9th of September, Hobbit, which is International Day to Protect Education from Attack?
You know when, like, there was those TikTok videos of, oh, here's what my life in a social media job where I get, like, a 6-figure salary. And it's like, here's me eating cereal. 5 minutes later, here's me eating avocado toast. 5 minutes later, here's me getting a massage.
How about 27th of October, which is the World Day for Audiovisual Heritage?
That's what this shit is. It's literally like, oh, okay, we need to do 5 minutes of justifying what we're doing.
Every day has to be a something day, right?
Or the International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Justice.
Do you know what this is, right? So these women, and by the way, the men, the men which are in this too, you're women as well, so don't worry. The women that are doing this, they like. When they went to school and it was like non-uniform day or it was school sports day, and they thought, oh, isn't it really great? What if every day could have a theme? Yeah,
well, there's a day for engineers. It's International Day for Tolerance.
That's in the tolerance, that is.
Yeah, that's for the intolerances. How about World Olive Tree Day, which is the 26th of November?
Is that the day when Israeli bulldozers push down 2,000-year-old olive trees in their own territory because Palestine doesn't exist, that Israel has a right to exist?
Yeah, the Balfour Declaration didn't say, don't fuck with the Arabs.
Kenny Smith Homeland is one of the moderators.
Is he?
Yeah. Why did you give him a spanner?
I think we know who it is.
Oh, you're not telling me it's the man of a million Sims?
Yeah, it's the man of a million Sims. Charles Lawton was the man of a million faces, and a certain person is the man of a million Sims.
So we could get this certain individual into the UNESCO program. He would have a great time then.
Did you know, Hobbit, that there have been 11 Director Generals of UNESCO since its inception?
Wow, wait.
And the first one, Hobbit, I think you may have mentioned him before, a certain Julian Huxley.
I'm trying to do the Price is Right theme tune, but I don't actually know how it goes.
I can't remember because it's been so long. I think you're sounding more like Sound of the Century.
Well, either way, I'm thinking the American version of The Price is Right, like not the Bruce Forsyth version.
Yeah.
Unmoderate me immediately, or I will leak your data. Oh, he's got dossiers.
Yeah, he's got dossiers.
He's got the dossiers.
Okay, now, right.
Right, so I think we.
Unmoderate him, or the Swan will get it.
The Swan will get it. We know it is now.
Right. We laid out what UNESCO do on a daily basis.
Have we?
By looks of
Have we?
Wow, they do everything. They're like a Swiss Army knife. They do everything.
Just the word mission creep. I think it's actually part of their mission, isn't it?
So, in a bygone that, if you want to see a small scale version of the UNESCO Women's Committee for Busybodies, just go to your local church bake sale. That's who you're dealing with, right? The women going like, oh, we've got this great idea to make the world better. Let's have an International Day of Water. Oh, yes, that sounds really good. Let's. And Miss Miffins she'll bake some of her famous flapjacks. Oh, yes, we raised £3.50 last time we did that. Oh, very good.
Do you want to know?
That's what it is.
Do you want to know about UNESCO's controversies?
Oh yes.
No, there's no such thing as a UNESCO controversy.
What Wikipedia says there is.
Well, the only controversy is that not everybody accepts the great work they do. we here at Fortean Words love our UNESCO and just don't think people laud their
UNESCO protect.
The thing is, UNESCO.
So these are quite good. New World Information and Communication Order. The UNESCO has been the centre of controversy in the past, particularly in its relationships with the United States, United Kingdom, Singapore, and the so-called Soviet Union. During the 70s
Yes,
and 80s...
UNESCO are so busy working hard, they don't get time to extol the virtues of UNESCO.
So the not creepy at all New World Information and Communication Order, and it's the New World Order is nothing. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And its McBride report calling for democratisation of the media and more egalitarian access to information was condemned in these countries as attempts to curb freedom of the press. UNESCO was perceived as a platform for communists and third world dictators to attack the West. What's new, eh? In contrast to the accusations made by the USSR in the late 40s and 50s, in 1984 the United States withheld its contributions and withdrew from the organisation in protest, followed by the United Kingdom in 1985. Singapore withdrew also at the end of 1985, citing rising membership fees. Following a change of government in 1997, the UK rejoined.
Hey Blair.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony Blair.
Oh, Tony. You're
Tony.
back.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Tone.
Nice
Nice country
we
you
got
got
all those
there.
museums. Yeah, that's why they didn't have any of those museums before 1997 then.
United States...
Ah,
The United States rejoined in 2003, followed by Singapore on 8th of October 2007. Anyway, discuss if you want.
I mean, what's there to say?
I mean, it all makes sense.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean,
Tom.
my God, Margaret Thatcher and John Major were ever so slightly marginally based, and then Tony Blair's like, right, time to put a stop to this. By the way, Fabian socialist Tony Blair.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose the Fabian
the
Society's
Fabian
got to be on our list,
Society.
hasn't it?
Well, I mean, look, Gate Program, Common Purpose, UNESCO, Fabian Society, Tavistock. They're all intertwined. And the thing is,
speaking of UNESCO being a perceived platform for communists and third world dictators, United Kingdom rejoined in 1997.
Yeah.
It seems like Tony Blair said, "Challenge accepted." Yeah, this is the more difficult controversy. Oh, yeah. I don't know. This one's just going to be full of anti-Semitism and anti-Semitic canards, because Israel and Palestine is quite the chunk of controversy. So
What
Israel...
do you mean? They go on white. I mean, if there's anything that they've taught me, it's like diversity is our strength. And who can say anything about Israel apart from the fact that it's a very diverse state?
That's getting less diverse by the day.
Well, that's why it's getting so well, because they got a great diversity. I mean, think of the food. They got falafel, they got shawarma, they got kebab, and they got gefilte fish. What more do you need?
Did you know in Israel, those foodstuffs increase every year eaten by the Jewish community?
What?
But unfortunately, it's also going down in the Palestinian community for some reason. It boggles the mind.
That just sounds like an anti-Semitic canard to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I quite like Peking duck.
So in 2010, Israel designated the Cave of the Patriarchs, Hebron, and Rachel's Tomb, Bethlehem, as national heritage sites, and announced restoration work, prompting criticism from the Obama administration and protests from the Palestinians. In October 2010, UNESCO's executive board voted to declare the sites as Al-Haram Al-Ihrabimi, which was the tomb of the patriarchs, and Bilal bin Rabah Mosque, which is Rachel's tomb, and stated that they were an integral part of the occupied Palestinian territories. And any unilateral Israeli action was a violation of international law. UNESCO described the sites as significant to the people of Muslim, Christian and Jewish traditions, and accused Israel of highlighting only the Jewish character of their sites.
Oh, that's just an anti-Semitic canard.
Yeah. Israel, in turn, accused UNESCO of detaching the nation of Israel from its heritage.
Wait, can we do that?
Yeah. And accused it of being politically motivated. The rabbi of the Western Hall said that Rachel's tomb had not previously been declared a holy Muslim site. We got dibs on it. We got dibs. You want to touch it? Yeah. Tag. You're rich. Israel partially suspended ties with UNESCO.
Yeah.
Israeli Deputy Foreign Minister Danny Ayalon declared the resolution was part of Palestinian escalation. Oh God, he's going to fire some white phosphorus in there. Zevlin Orlev, chairman of the Knesset Education and Culture Committee, referred to the resolutions as an attempt to undermine the mission of UNESCO as a scientific and cultural organisation that promotes cooperation through the world. I don't want to be that guy, but Israel. But back to the top, Israel was admitted to UNESCO in 1949, 1 year after its creation. I don't think there's a whole heap of Jewish heritage in that area, is there? On the 28th of June 2011, UNESCO's World Heritage Committee, at Georgian's instance, censured Israel's decision to demolish and rebuild the Mughrabi Gate Bridge in Jerusalem for safety reasons. Israel stated that Jordan had signed an agreement with Israel stipulating that the existing bridge must be dismantled for safety reasons. Jordan disputed the agreement, saying that it was only signed under US pressure. Israel, why would the US be pressuring them
why would they do that?
To go along with Israel? Weird. Israel was Jordan.
Well, after the USS Liberty was sunk, they were just like, yeah, we need to do more for Israel.
Yeah. Israel was also unable to address the UNESCO committee over objections from Egypt. Well, if you can't say something nice about a country, don't say anything at all, am I right? In January the 20th... Go on then, Hobbit.
I was going to say, that's it.
In January 2014, days before... I've told you this goes on a bit, didn't I? In January 2014, days before it was scheduled to open, UNESCO Director General Irina Bokova indefinitely postponed and effectively cancelled an exhibit created by the Simon Wiesenthal Centre entitled The People, the Book, the Land. The 3,500-year relationship between the Jewish people and the land of Israel. Did they just have a bit of time off until 1948?
Yeah. I think it was majority Arab until like 1933 or something.
You saying it goes on a bit is you trying to belittle the accomplishments of UNESCO.
Poor old UNESCO, just a barrage from Israel constantly, isn't it?
Yeah.
The event was scheduled to run from the 21st of January through the 30th of... I hate through, don't you, Hobbit? That's an Americanism, isn't it? Through, yeah, it's... Yeah. Run from the 21st of January to the 30th of January is how it should read, but it's 21 January through 30 January.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah. Bokova cancelled the event after representatives of the Arab states at UNESCO argued this display would harm the peace process. Yeah, how's that peace process going?
It's fine.
It's going well. It's going well, guys. Nearly there.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Yeah. The author of the exhibition, Professor Robert Wistrich of the Hebrew University's Vidal Sassoon International Study for the Study of Anti-Semitism.
I was going to say that university is head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah. Called the cancellation
can we just say
an
UNESCO
appalling
heritage site for the gayest city in the world, Tel Aviv?
Yeah. Well, they called the cancellation an appalling act and characterised Bokova's decision as an arbitrary act of total cynicism and really contempt for the Jewish people and its history, and it's anti-Semitic and literally Hitler, and it's like another Holocaust, I should imagine, as well. UNESCO amended the decision to cancel the exhibit within the year, and it quickly achieved popularity, and it was viewed as a great success. Okay. On the 1st of January 2019, Israel formally left UNESCO in pursuance of the US withdrawal over the perceived continuous anti-Israel bias. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Occupied Palestine, and then I've got about the same again about Palestine. I'm not doing it. I'm not
but again,
doing it.
You're just like, denying Israel has a right to exist. This UNESCO.
I'll put it this way: the fucking push me pull you of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Like, oh, Jesus Christ!
It's like, yeah. You just want to here's a room. Right.
Yeah, just
being here until you fucking
both of you go in there and we'll just sort it out with the winner. It's like just wall it off. We just need to like form a gang of countries around the edge, like the Simpsons meme, and just let them punch it out.
You've got to tie their wrists together so they can't run away from one another.
Yeah, exactly.
Occupied Palestine resolution. Well, it wasn't resolute, so I'm not reading all that. Palestine. In February 2011, an article was published in a Palestinian youth magazine in which a teenage girl described one of her 4 role models as Adolf Hitler. A 2011 UNESCO, which partly funded the magazine, condemned the material and subsequently withdrew support. Palestine, UNESCO is literally Hitler. God. In 2012, UNESCO decided to establish a chair at the Islamic University of Gaza.
What happened about What happened about the freedom of the press and journalism? What happened?
They mentioned Hitler. All bets are off. In the field of astronomy and astrophysics and space sciences, fueling controversy and criticism, Israel bombed the school in 2008, stating they develop and store weapons there, which Israel restated in criticising UNESCO's move. Jesus fuck.
I've just had a text message from my tooth implant from Susan Majuki saying, "Shut it down. Israel has a right to exist." I can't believe UNESCO would be such an anti-Semitic organisation.
Yeah,
we have to USS Liberty the UNESCO.
The head, Kamalain Shaf, defended UNESCO, saying the Islamic University is a purely academic university that is interested only in education and its development. Israeli ambassador to UNESCO, Nimrod Barkan. I love Nimrod.
What a Nimrod!
What a fucking Nimrod! Plan to submit. Isn't that like a fucking dork or something? Isn't that? It's like an ironic thing, isn't it?
Well, no, Nimrod's a Babylonian name.
Is it?
Yeah, Nimrod is. Yeah.
Literally, I've just looked at it. He looks like a clone of Ariel Sharon. Literally. I know. What's the last? Oh fuck. BB.
Clone army.
Literally looks like a clone of BB. It's just unreal. Plan to submit a letter.
Remember that graphic with the bomb in it? It's like, this is how close Iran is to making nuclear weapon. I am.
They made round bomb with light fuse. With light fuse. Do you remember it was like a cartoon bomb, weren't it, with a fucking fuse out the top and everything?
I must admit, I'm not sure if he's still got a Twitter account, but Netanyahu, his son, had some pretty spicy tweets. Let me just, I'm going to say this is UNESCO related because we're coming to the last half hour. We're in the home stretch of the match now, so
we're gonna have to do a part 2 on UNESCO because we've got to look at their website because their website is something else.
Spicy tweets. And just remember, guys, that this is just like this is one of the bits about the latest tweets from Netanyahu. Let's see if he's saying anything interesting. Something written in disgusting goblin sorcery. I can't read that. Oh, translate.
Anyway, Nimrod Barkan plan to submit a
unable to fetch translation. Okay.
Nimrod Barkan planned to submit a letter of protest with information about the university's ties to Hamas. Especially angry this was the first Palestinian university that UNESCO chose to cooperate with.
It wasn't there
but Ibrith criticised the move as well.
Wasn't there something about UNESCO where they were like, and that was it. Israel's like, okay, Palestinians, you need to have democracy and freedom and gay Tel Aviv style butt sex. So get some parties right, and then it's like, okay, we create this party called Hamas, and they won 94% of the vote. So 6% of Palestine were like, we don't want Hamas to represent us, and 94%, yeah, we do. And now Israel's upset. It's like, oh, Hamas is a terrorist organization. It's like, hang on, you said we got to like
that adds
do
up to
this.
150%.
Yeah, so it's like you're saying on the one hand, like the Palestinians have got to democratically elect their representatives, but then when you don't like the representatives, you say they're a terrorist organisation. You can't have it both ways. I'm sorry to sound like UNESCO here.
Guys, sorry to backtrack on something. I was right about the human trafficking in Azerbaijan.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear. Oops.
So what is it? Is it child sacrifices?
Yeah, human trafficking has become a problem in Azerbaijan. Youth is the main is the main place among people exploitation by human traffickers. Doesn't say where they're from though.
Has it been going on since 1972?
US State Department's official monitor to combat trafficking in persons placed the country in Tier 2 in 2017. What does Tier 2 mean? Tier 1 countries are going to comply with the countries who do not comply with the TPVA or whatever it is. All right, okay. So,
right,
yeah.
so we've finished with the Middle East now. So
no. Well, I was going to say, before we get into unexplained histories, I have found from the Jerusalem Post.
I haven't finished with people flouncing out of UNESCO yet.
Okay.
Let's go.
I've got Japan and US to do. Yeah, the US looks like it's a. Oh yeah. Oh no, there's quite a lot of controversies. I haven't even got into the best ones yet. In 2015, Japan threatened to halt funding for the UNESCO over the organisation's decision to include documents relating to the 1913 Nanjing massacre in the latest listing for its Memory of the World programme. In October 2016, Japanese Foreign Minister Fumio Kishida
we don't need to remember that part.
Yeah, confirmed that Japan's 2016 annual funding of 4.4 billion yen. 4.4 billion yen.
That's about like
£1
£5.
billion yen.
What's $1 billion yen worth?
I think you can buy a 2003 Toyota Corolla for that much money.
Is Japan's thing in the shitter then? Is it?
I don't know.
Well, million.
I assume 100 yen is probably $1. So $1 billion, you take off 2 zeros from $1 billion. What's that? Like that's like a million. Oh no, we're using American billions, aren't we? So
it's
that's
about like 4
million
million or something, maybe.
So is this is the question I want to ask? Is that just UNESCO funding, or is that UN as well? Or do they give another payment to the UN?
Different.
This is what I'd like to know. Is like, how much is the British government paying to all these fucking clubs we're in?
So the thing which the mafia would do, you had about like cooking the books, and you'd have two sets of books. So you'd have your official books to be audited, and then you have your real books or the real budget.
So you know where the money really is, yeah.
Yeah, so by having a UNESCO books, and you've got UN books, and then there's like the Club of Rome books, which is the real books. So the UN and UNESCO books are... Yeah, these are all cooked books, but they got real books somewhere, and we're not privy to that thing. Alex Jones did a thing about it. He called it the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. So in the United States, the states have a state budget, but that's just talking about expenses. The real actual, like, what money they got is in the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, the CAFR.
I'll take it that's one you're not allowed to look at.
Yeah, that's like the real one. That's like, you know, if Don Giuliani's saying we need the books, he's talking about the CAFR.
Is that the one you'd look at and you like all the colour would drain out of your face because you realise how much shit the fucking country's actually in?
It's the one you look at it and it's like, holy shit, why are we taxing these people? We literally make 10 times this money from cocaine running and child kidnapping.
Yeah. Right, so this is doing the US now. So the United States withdrew from UNESCO in 1984, citing the highly politicised nature of its organisation. Isn't it funny how the world's changed? Before then, it's like this is all bollocks and it's political, and you're not fucking telling me what to do. And now it's, hey, I'm gonna do whatever you say. To the letter.
Well, now it's oh look, all these nations have got WF young leaders ruling them.
Could you imagine like the government now going, "This is bollocks. I'm not doing this." Like governments could in 1984.
Back before Common Purpose was putting their leaders forward. Which,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's just WEF by another name.
Well, I'm sure they're. I should imagine they're all separate, but they've all got the same aim, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, okay. So there was this thing, right? You know how like how you do like a you do a decentralized rebel cell. So you'd have an inner circle, right? And the inner circle would know each other, know their plans. But then, like, each members of those, they would have, like, their own underlings. And with those underlings, they say to them, go and form your own inner circle, and you form your own networks. And I know you as a contact, but I won't know the rest of your contacts. So if ever I get compromised, I can just say, well, I know this one person, but that's it. And that's basically what they're doing. So you've got the Freemasons, but now you've got the Trilateral Commission, you've got the Bilderberg Group, you've got Davos, you've got WEF, you've got Common Purpose, you've got fucking UNESCO babies, and baby music, fart, fart, fart. Baby music, fart, fart, fart. Baby music. Oh, no, what's that song? Baby Shark.
Baby Shark, do, 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 Baby Shark.
Yeah, that's it. That's part of the WEF.
You wait till you hear that song from The Little Mermaid.
No. That's like saying, hey, Hobbit, do you want to watch Basket Case again? No, I saw it once, and that was one time too many.
I've never watched it.
I literally went outside to have a smoke. I was like, is it over yet? No. All right, I'm going to spend the rest of the evening in the toilet smoking.
So anyway... In 1984, so they said they were highly politicised nature of the organisation. Its ostensible hostility towards the basic institutions of a free society, especially a free market and a free press, as well as its unrestrained budgetary expansion and poor management under the Director General Amadou Mahamabou.
Amadou Smacker Black. Oh no, I was going to do the thing. You're not allowed to talk about those things on YouTube. Everything I want to talk about on YouTube, you can't do anymore. So I missed 2015.
But it's crazy, isn't it, to think that we could, like back in the day, like all you need. I honestly think a lot of this is down to the quality of politician we have. Like the problem is we've got an entire political class that since the mid-90s. I mean, some of them probably started after like the mid-90s. So, like after what was the EU treaty that Gordon Brown signed? The
sell the firstborn children into slavery treaty.
Whatever you can. I can't remember what it was. It's
probably got
Maastricht.
Yeah.
Was it Maastricht or
Maastricht,
was there another one?
Yeah, it might have been Maastricht. There was Maastricht and
my favourite was the Lisbon Treaty.
Lisbon. It was one of those two. So Gordon Brown signed one of those two. And then since then, like, our politicians haven't really had to do anything because all they do is, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. Like, they're just used to being cowed by somebody, aren't they? And told what to do.
Yeah, it was the EU, wasn't it? But then, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, that was like the first stages of like the current EU, wasn't it? But but since then, like all of our MPs have grown up in this system where they haven't really had to fucking do anything. They haven't had to decide their own rules. They haven't had to decide their own work laws. They don't really know how the country works. Yeah, it's like. They're like the kids that you used to pay £30 board to their mum, and the mum would have the wages and allow them to have what they wanted back. And the problem is now they've got all of their wages, so they just fucking spend it all down the pub and don't have any rent money left. It's like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway,
he took away UNESCO's cushy job and made the people who took the paper out of the tray and put it in another tray at actual work week. They'd fucking.
Yeah, this is the thing. You lick arse at UNESCO. You lick arse at the UN, and you might get yourself a cushy UNESCO job after you finish, mightn't you? If you're a good boy or girl politician.
Yeah, you get to be responsible for like Israel bombing Palestinian schools. You know.
Israel has a right to exist.
The reasons for the withdrawal of the United States from UNESCO in 1984 are well known,
My view is we overacted to the calls of some who wanted to radicalise UNESCO and the calls of others who wanted the United States to lead in emasculating the UN system. The fact is UNESCO is one of the least dangerous international institutions ever created. While some member countries within UNESCO attempted to push journalistic views antithetical to the values of the West and engage in Israel bashing, it's literally it's all my fucking wife's boyfriend stuff with it. It's in America, isn't it? They're so pathetic. UNESCO itself never adopted such radical postures. The US opted for empty chair diplomacy after winning, not losing the battles we were engaged in. It was nuts to get out, and it would be nuttier not to rejoin. Okay. Leach concluded that the record showed Israel bashing, a call for a new. Didn't they literally all they did was said, no, you really shouldn't be like putting a fresh coat of paint on fucking ancient structures and renaming them. That's literally all they said to them. And it's like, oh god, this is like another Holocaust, aren't they? In a call for a new world information order, oh fucking hell. So Leach concluded the record showed Israel bashing, a call for a new world information order, money management, and arms control policy to be the impetus behind withdrawal. He asserted that before departing from UNESCO, withdrawal from the IAEA, which is the
International Atomic Energy Committee
agency.
Oh, agency.
Agency, potato.
Had been pushed by him on 1st of October 2003. The US rejoined UNESCO. So why would they want to withdraw from the IAEA?
Because Mogtai Vanuatu was just a liar. It's conspiracy theory that Dimona is a nuclear processing facility.
On the 12th of October 2017, the United States notified UNESCO that it would again withdraw from the organisation.
How many times can you withdraw? Surely it's just like, okay, you've withdrawn once, you don't need to say you're going to withdraw again. We
Trump?
get it.
Isn't that Trump?
No, 2017. Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Yeah, so the United States notified to UNESCO that it would again withdraw from the... I'm taking my ball line.
Is this a monthly thing, like, with withdrawing again? Yeah, we know.
Yeah, but Israel followed suit. That's weird. Department of State cited mounting arrears at UNESCO, the need for fundamental reform in the organisation, and continuing anti-Israel policy. Just like the Yanks are literally like the school bully with their little mate behind. He goes, woo. Like, just fucking Biff.
The school bully in his little Renfield just behind him, sort of like leaning up, shaking, just going, yeah.
Yeah, what they said. United States has not paid over 600 million in dues. It stopped paying its 80 million annual UNESCO dues when Palestine became a full member in 2011. Israel and the US were among 14 votes against the membership out of 194 member countries.
So wait, there was 14 against?
Yeah, so 14 against, including Israel and the US. It's like Palestine is the fucking proper country. That was a mandate. Was it the British? What was it called? British
No,
mandate.
that's just an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
And saying that Palestinians are Semitic people as well, that's an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory.
Balfour just didn't know what he was talking about, did he?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was pretty black and white what Balfour said in the Declaration.
Yeah. It was just that's just open to interpretation.
Yeah.
No one reads that. No one reads that stuff, do they? You know.
Yeah, no one reads the small print. Right, so we've done with the US and its little Renfield. The Kurdish-Turkish conflict now. On the 25th of May 2016, the noted Turkish poet and human rights activist Zulfu Liveni, great poet. I know all of them. Do you know any of them, Hobbit?
I've got like the now that's why I call Zulfu Liveni's greatest hits on my thing.
Resigned as Turkey's only UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador. He highlighted the human rights situation in Turkey and the destruction of historical Sur district of Diyarbakir, the largest city in...
Diyarbakir? Oh no, not Diyarbakir.
Wakibaki. In the districts of Wakibaki, the largest city in Kurdish majority southeast Turkey, during fighting between the Turkish army and Kurdish militants as the main reasons for its resignation. Were they bulldozing olive trees and white phosphorescent people as well, were they? Look, the more it changes, the more it stays the same, doesn't it? Livanelli said... Go on then, Hobbit, what were you going to say?
I'm just agreeing with you. I'm doing the Renfield bit, like, yeah. Yeah.
To pontificate on peace while remaining silent against such violations is a contradiction of the fundamental ideals. I'd actually say it's quite the opposite. That is literally what the UNESCO do. just like, do you remember the Gulf War, Hobbit? Like, it was literally just like the UN going, don't do that. You know, like those women when you're in the supermarket and the fucking kids absolutely running wild and fucking eating sweets and fucking nicking stuff, filling his pockets up, and the mother's just like, don't do that. That's what the original Gulf War was like, don't it? America, don't do that.
Look, we all saw the video, the Iraqi troops with the Iraqi flags on their thing, ripping babies out of incubators and dashing them up against the thing, and then they had the Iron Cross on.
Don't forget the 45-minute claim as well, Hubbard.
And they were playing volleyball with their bayonets and their German Mauser rifles, throwing babies in the air and hang on, wait a second. No, they were saying that of Germans World War One. Hang on, what was it? The Iraqis were
incubators.
Doing something yellow cake. Oh, I forget now. It doesn't matter.
No, it's the 45-minute claim, weren't it? Because like with a metal tube and
all I know is
with a metal
Israel
tube
has a
and
right
stuff.
to exist.
With a metal tube and stuff, they could kill us in 45 minutes.
Yeah, Israel has a right to exist, so got to put an end to that. Oh, and by the way, Saddam Hussein definitely was not the reincarnation of King Nebuchadnezzar, and definitely did not have a Stargate, which the American Stargate located in Cheyenne Mountain discovered, because they got like some sort of resonance field. You can detect nearby Stargates with them. So they totally didn't just do that war so they could capture their Stargate and shut it down.
And they weren't a giant in Afghanistan either.
No, there was no Kandahar giant. No. Giants aren't real, except for dinosaurs. Those are real.
Well, UNESCO about to get a slap on the wrist, because in 2020 UNESCO stated the size of the illicit trade in cultural property amounted to $10 billion a year. $1 billion a year. A report the same year by the RAND organisation suggested that the actual market is not likely to be larger than a few $100 million.
Ah, that's right. Tactical Droid knows the score. They were using weapons of mass destruction on incubators.
Yeah. An expert cited by UNESCO as attributing the 10 billion figure denied it and said he had no idea where the figure came from. Art dealers were particularly critical of the UNESCO figure because they obviously were somewhere near... Oh, because it amounted to 15% of the total world art market. Not paedophile tokens at all, are they, Hobbit?
Definitely not. Definitely not used for money laundering.
Yeah. In November 2020, part of a UNESCO advertising campaign intended to highlight international traffic in looted artifacts had to be withdrawn after it falsely presented a series of museum-held artworks with known provenances as recently looted objects held in private collections. The adverts claimed that a head of Buddha... So, do you reckon this is disinformation they're doing here then? Because there's no way they can get this shit that wrong. So either they're right and they've had to lie and pretend it's not, or it was disinformation in the first place to put people off the trail.
I'm having a hard time following any of this. I just it sort of got my blood boiling when people were saying that Israel doesn't have a right to exist. I'm like,
yeah.
But they clearly do. That's why they say they got a right to exist.
It's ours. We've been here for thousands of years.
Yeah. Not 60
1948.
years. That's thousands of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The adverts claim that a head of Buddha in the Metropolitan Museum's collection since 1930 had been looted from Kabul Museum in 2001 and then smuggled into the US art market. A funerary monument from Palmyra that the Met had acquired in 1901 had been recently looted from the Palmyra Museum by Islamic State militants, then smuggled into the European antiquities market, and that an Ivory Coast mask with a provenance that indicates it was in the US by 1954 was looted during the armed clashes in 2010 to 2011. After complaints from the Met, the adverts were withdrawn.
All right.
Right, so I think I'm UNESCO'd out, mate.
Yeah. Part 2 coming soon.
Yeah, we'll have to look at their website because oh boy,
Israel has been there.
Oh
boy, do we have to talk about
it's just getting spicy.
Do we have to talk about some conspiracy theories that are wrong?
As Tactical Droid points out, they've been there for 6 million years.
Go on then.
So anyway,
what do you want to do? I've been talking way too much. What do you want to do, Abbott? Or Fraser?
Oh, well, here's something from the Jewish Post. Netanyahu tweets hope leftists die of coronavirus following protest. I hope the elderly people who die following this protest will be from your block. The younger Netanyahu Jr. wrote on Twitter. That's like there's this article and it goes on. There's like paragraphs and paragraphs of stuff, but literally like that tweet's all you need to know. Yeah, Netanyahu said some interesting things. Netanyahu tweets a claim Shin Bet part of coup
like
against his father.
Hand gesture he's doing in that link you put in, Hobbit.
No, that's just an anti-Semitic canard.
Hobbit, do you want to do this one? Scientists invent device that generates electricity out of thin air.
Oh, before we do the totally not I can't remember the name, Tartarian technology.
Yeah.
Netanyahu did a tweet, and you know the Google Doogles. He's done that, but it spells the word gulag.
Oh.
Whenever I read through Twitter, I love reading Netanyahu's post. He's saying probably what his father is thinking. You have to understand the mindset of Israelis as the Holocaust has always been reminded within the culture of Israel. This is his latest tweet, perhaps is what he really thinks of Google. Yeah, gulag. Okay, there we go. It's all this like extraneous definition. You don't need it. Like the point of Twitter is like brevity is the essence of wit. If you can't convey your message in 140 characters, like, you know, I'm not reading your blog post. I'm happy for you or sad, whatever. But I ain't reading all that. Unexplained histories?
Yeah, I'll put a link in the back chat for you, Hobbit.
Okay, I'll read it out. Yeah. This is by TK Randall. We've done it before, haven't we?
Have we? No. Well, it says it's
the novel AirGen device is capable of continuously generating electricity using almost any material. It may sound like setting up a science fiction movie, but this intriguing.
How many of these articles start with that line? Are these fucking Chat GPT? These things?
Oh shit! We got to watch that. When's that on? Tomorrow.
Which has been developed by scientists at the University of Massachusetts. Is the real deal. Impressively, it doesn't require any kind of conventional fuel and is completely clean, making it a viable alternative to traditional power generation methods and a rival to wind and solar power.
Boys, tomorrow, making history. We're going to get the first Mars live stream.
Oh.
How many clouds on Mars are we going to see?
Do you mean Mars or do you mean Iceland?
well, Greenland, eh?
Is it Greenland, is it?
Yeah, it's Greenland, supposedly, yeah.
Is there life in Greenland?
No, European Space Agency will broadcast live from Mars tomorrow. That's the June 2nd. First time ever.
I didn't even know they were going.
Broadcast. Well, hold on. For the first time ever, it'll be possible to watch a live broadcast beamed directly from the orbit around the red planet.
I didn't even know they were going.
There's a lot to unpack in that.
Well, when did they leave? When did they leave? Because I don't even remember it happening.
Well, it takes 6 months to get there, right? So they must have left 6 months ago.
Is that all?
Yeah, supposedly.
That don't seem right.
But you see, well,
sometimes Mars is closer to Earth, and other times it's further
as Alphabet
away,
Cat
and...
says, Greenland with a reddish brown filter on the camera and no Photoshop going on there.
The event, which is set to take tomorrow, June 2nd at 1800 CST, aims to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the European Space Agency's long-lived Mars Express orbiter. The probe arrived in orbit around Mars and way back... it went there in 2003. It's been there for 20 years.
I don't remember it going.
Bringing with it the ill-fated Beagle 2 lander, which is... Wait, so these guys... Wait, hold on. How are they going to retrofit a live stream from this? When technology back in 2003 couldn't live stream fuck all.
Well, they say the main problem, it's not about the recording and stuff, it's the bandwidth available. And
right, okay,
so I don't know...
It's going to be like VHS quality.
I don't know how they're going to make the transmitter on the Mars side any more powerful. Like,
wouldn't it have to be like super powerful? Because you'd have no end of loss in the intervening bit. Because I don't know how much data you'd lose over what distance, but there'd be nothing left by the time it got to Earth, would there?
When they were doing the Mars stuff, the moon landings, they had the great big radio telescopes to try and pick up the data, and they used a technique called slow scanning television. I can't remember exactly. Slow scan television is a weird technology. It's also used to transmit data, but it's like a pre-sort of internet protocol method of data transmission. I don't know too much about it.
Oh, tomorrow's live feed. Sorry, it's not going to be a live stream. It's going to be a live feed. Tomorrow's live feed will provide a montage of images streamed directly from the orbiter as and when they are received, effectively providing a live stream of Mars. So it's not actually a live stream. There we go. It's just photographs, supposedly.
But it's just going to be a slideshow.
Yeah.
That's the bit which I was disappointed with.
Look at this Photoshop we did earlier. Yeah.
That's the bit I was disappointed with the Comet Lander thing. It was like I wanted to see a live feed of it, and they were like, "We don't have the bandwidth to do that. Sorry, it's going to take like 9 months to transmit 5 minutes of data from there because we're doing it like I think the transfer rate was like 5 kilobytes a second or something. So equivalent to dial-up actually. I don't remember the numbers exactly.
Oh, tune in amongst the first...
Dial-up was 512k, wasn't it?
So the information is going to take 50
dial-up, that was maximum of, like, the fastest download speed I ever got on dial-up was like 5 kilobytes a second, which would be equivalent to 48 kilobits a second. You're thinking like the first broadband, which is 512k, which is equivalent to, well, if you divide that by 8, you get that in kilobytes.
Yeah.
Which was like, already it's incredible. Like, I remember when I first got that in 2003, I was like, oh, this is incredible. I can download all the movies and stuff I want. I downloaded all of Star Trek TNG when that happened.
So anyway, back to
why has my calculator got the Earthphone view icon? Oh, for fuck's sake, I don't care.
We're going back to electricity then, aren't we?
Yeah, right. So TLDR, this air tech thing, they don't explain it. They just say it's a really small filter, and because of that, electrons from water droplets in the air will magically go onto it, and now you've got electricity.
Look forward to computer engineer Jun Yao's suicide soon.
I don't know. It's going to be one of those. Oh yeah, it's an incredible piece of technology. It's just another 20 more years, and we'll have working fusion. And
we've also got
cold fusion was the big thing back in the 90s. Do you remember how cold fusion, like these bubbles, when they collapse in the water, they emit light, and it turns out in that brief period of time they're incredibly hot, and there's like incredible amounts of power, and that's why they're making light, because they're incandescing.
Oh, okay.
And then it's just like, oh, okay, well, we're just going to ignore all that now and just say that fusion can't be done at cold temperatures. It's got to be super hot or whatever. I don't know.
So the Swedish have found a Russian spy whale.
Oh yes, they've been training whales to spy on boats. I don't know.
spy on the Swedish, because someone needs to keep an eye on those fuckers, don't they?
Well, wouldn't it be more cost effective to have like some Afghan spies, because the Swedish would be like, "Hello, I'm a refugee from Syria. Now I demand you let me into Parliament and see your official state secrets. It's part of my culture. Or wouldn't you like to rape a 5-year-old girl instead? Yeah, I want to do that, but also I need to have a look at your state secrets first. Please, it's part of my culture. Oh, well, we're Swedish, so okay, here's our state secrets."
So
Sweden.
UFO press event to present definitive evidence of black projects. So what's this definitive
that was
evidence?
another thing.
It's UFO researcher Stephen M. Greer will be joined by several government whistleblowers who absolutely worked in the government. They really did, honestly, including Marine, who had allegedly witnessed a man-made UFO in Indonesia in 2019. Disinformation event. A bit misinformation, or
I saw something recently. There was like NASA announcing alien invasion live.
Also, Greer says he's going to reveal details of a planned RICO lawsuit set to be initiated in response to illegal military and corporate projects.
Right,
which is absolutely going to happen, isn't it?
Here we go. It's a 4-hour long stream by NASA. And the title of the video is called "Public Meeting on Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, Wet Ass Pussy," official NASA broadcast. We commissioned... Yeah, well, that's what WAP stands for.
Yeah.
We commissioned a study team to examine from a scientific perspective wet ass pussy. That is, observations of events in the sky cannot be identified as aircraft or known natural phenomena. The focus of this public meeting is to hold final deliberations for the independent study. Blah, blah, blah. Literally, like, Jesus could come down from the heavens and land on the thing, and NASA would find a way to make it sound like the most boring event possible. NASA's secret power, by the way, is not, like, to deceive. NASA's secret power is to, like, make the most incredible things sound like, "Oh, we've invented faster than light travel, and yeah, okay. So we'll be discussing a panel to discuss feasibility of faster than light travel to other Earth habitable planets, blah, blah, blah." They will make it the most boring thing possible. I hate them. I hate them so much.
What about the bloke who was having had like a Groundhog Day thing going on? So he said, wherever I go, the same people are on the side of the road, same cars behind me with the same people in them. Same person gets out of the cars wearing the same clothes. Go on then.
That's a Tupac song. Everywhere I go, every other city I go, no matter where I go, I see the same hoes.
So anyway, it's not that. He's just got deja vu with retro collective confabulation, which is just Alzheimer's.
Oh.
Let's see.
Have you heard of the Russian spy whale?
Yeah.
Here we go. So the song I'm thinking of is called "Tupac, I See the Same Hose."
Is this the one we did the other day, or have they updated it? As many as 1.7 billion Tyrannosaurus Rexes once roamed the Earth.
Oh yeah, we did that the other. Yeah.
I thought we did it with a lower figure.
Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the 1.6 billion dinosaurs.
Fucking hell. How many of those fossils have you found?
What the fuck were they eating? It's like 1.7. Like, how many calories does a Tyrannosaurus Rex need?
Whoa, hold on, Hemi. Right, remember T-Rexes were around for how many millions of years? 2 million years, right?
Were they?
Yeah, the T-Rex was around for 2 million, right? And there's 1.1 billion in total, right?
Yeah.
So if we divide that up, T-Rexes must have lived for a very long time.
Correction, the Tupac song about the hose is called "All About You," with the chorus, "Every other city we go, every other video, no matter where I go, I see the same hoe." I remember that song.
Yeah, what is that? That's fucking...
Oh, hold on a bit. Listen to the last line of this. If the number is accurate, it means we've only found the remains of 0.00002% of all the T-Rex ever lived. The other 99.99999%, even though you used the 2.
We can't exhume their mass graves. That would be an offence to them.
Hold on. Are either lying in wait in the ground somewhere or are lost forever. So what's oil then? I thought it was dinosaur bones.
Put a dinosaur bone in your butt. Put a xylophone in your butt. Put the boogie in your butt. Put the boogie in your butt. God, I've been listening to a lot of
How did they know there's 1.1
recently.
billion? Like, where have they extrapolated that fucking number from?
Because 6 million.
Oh. Yeah, that's not...
Back in 2021, a study was published suggesting there might have been as many as 2.5 billion individual T-Rexes. But now a newer study has called this estimate...
What is an individual T-Rex? What is it? Were they Siamese twins or something? What was it? What is it? What? What?
Instead, you're talking bollocks. You're talking bollocks, mate. It was 1.7 billion.
You'll be hearing from my lawyers about the 2.3 billion you've denounced.
According to study author Eva Grabler, this difference could be... It's Griebler, not Grabler. This difference can be attributed to the inclusion of new information that the original study hadn't taken into account, as well as renewed estimates concerning population density, number of eggs laid, and average lifespan.
Yeah, but what was the average? How did they know the average lifespan of a T-Rex?
Well, because they made it up, obviously.
How long do T-Rexes normally live? Like, what's the average age of a T-Rex? How would you know?
That's a very good question, Fraser. Now moving on.
Or as Monty Python would have said, I was hoping you weren't going to ask that particular question.
What? So are you telling me there is a literal, like, arthritic fucking T-Rex skeleton out there to like, you know, compare with the other T-Rex skeletons or something?
I don't know.
Is that it? How do you tell one's older? It's a bone. You can't extrapolate. What, do they have tree rings or something?
Yeah.
Fucking...
You're asking too many questions.
Yeah, I was hoping you weren't going to ask that particular question.
Okay. Yeah, T-Rexes are only around for 2 million years.
Oh, how about this one? You seen this one? A 7,000-year-old road discovered underwater off Croatian island.
Right.
Kenny Smith, Homeland, just got banned from the Homeland live chat.
Did he?
What's going on there?
He's been ousted.
Repo Rex.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer Shmuley Schmeckelstein about
that. Newly released footage shows underwater archaeologists removing sand and debris from the site. These are carefully stacked stone plates that were part of the 4 meter...
Alex Jones?
Yeah, literally underwater Alex Jones.
Yes.
That were part of the 4 meter wide road that connected the artificially created island with the coast. The University of Zadar, not Robert Zadar with the big chin. Do you remember the actor Robert Zadar?
Zinazine Zadar?
No, he played the... do you remember we watched Maniac Cop, Hobbit? He played the Maniac Cop.
I do remember that.
Robert Zadar played the Romaniac Cop.
The Romaniac Cop?
The Romaniac Cop.
Hello, I am from Budapest.
By radiocarbon analysis...
Whoa, bros, come on.
Have you never watched Maniac Cop? It's a good movie.
Yeah.
This is a real rabbit hole here. Like, I just typed in... How long did T-Rexes live for?
Yeah.
Do you want to know? Right, okay, This is a Guardian article from 2009, right? It isn't easy to tell from dinosaurs' fossilized remains how long they lived. The traditional estimates based on slow reptilian growth rates combined with the enormous size of dinosaurs led scientists to conclude that it could be up to several hundred years. However, paleontologists today believe that dinosaurs grew much more quickly, rather like birds and mammals. We don't fucking know.
Reminder, dragons
so how long
aren't
did they
real.
think? Oh, wait, okay. So they're now saying, they only lived for 30 years.
Just a reminder, dragons aren't real, but dinosaurs living millennia.
So
But surely you could.
Scientists
you could
believe
use
they lived for 700 years. Wow.
Surely they'd live longer, similar to sort of an elephant. What's that? 60 years.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, you would think that, right?
Logic could tell.
Turtles,
logic could tell you. It'd be
Man, I'd love to be a dinosaur biologist. Yeah, they're radioactive and they eat tantalum. Also, they quite liked wet.
Yeah. So basically, they were like, "Oh, bigger reptiles live for longer, right? Therefore,
their
dinosaur
eyesight was
bigger,
especially
man. So
sensitive
100 years.
to the puce range.
I suppose they could. I suppose they could if their physiognomy was more like a turtle. Or something.
They'd migrate east every 10 or so years, which may account for the Godzilla.
Is that an African or a European swallow hobbit?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so now they decided it's only 30 years. Like, okay.
They're just fucking... They're not making it up as they go along.
Let's make it up, yeah.
Being a dinosaur biologist is one of those things, along with working for UNESCO, coming up with lists. It's like, I've got such a difficult job. I'm a dinosaur biologist.
How did you become a dinosaur biologist? Well, I sold all my Star Wars figures and applied.